What if I told you that one hard foul just reignited the most controversial rivalry in women's basketball? And now the WNBA is scrambling to control the fallout. The clash between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese has taken a shocking turn that nobody saw coming, and the drama extends far beyond the basketball court. Before we dive into what just happened, make sure to hit that like button if you're ready for the real story behind this explosive feud. The 2020 season opener between the Indiana Fever and Chicago Sky was supposed to be just another chapter in a rivalry that started back in college. But what happened on May 17th sent shockwaves through the entire basketball world. With the Fever dominating 50-42 in the third quarter, Angel Reese grabbed an offensive rebound and was driving to the basket when Caitlin Clark made a decision that would spark absolute chaos. Clark's right arm came crashing down on Reese with such force that the Sky forward was sent tumbling to the floor. But here's where things got wild. Reese jumped back to her feet, her face twisted in fury, and lunged directly at Clark. The cameras caught everything, including Reese screaming, "You crazy as what the fuck is wrong with you?" as Aaliyah Boston desperately tried to separate them. The officials huddled for what felt like an eternity, reviewing the play from every angle. When they finally made their decision, it left everyone stunned. Clark's common foul was upgraded to a flagrant 1, deemed not a legitimate basketball play. But that wasn't the shocking part. Both Reese and Boston received technical fouls, with Boston getting one for a physical taunt that nobody could actually see on any replay. After the game, Clark tried to downplay the incident, telling ESPN it was just a good take foul. She claimed she wasn't trying to do anything malicious, that it's the type of play that happens in basketball all the time. But Reese's reaction told a different story. This wasn't just about one hard foul. This was about years of built-up tension finally exploding. The rivalry between these two started long before they entered the WNBA. They first faced off on the AAU circuit as teenagers, with Reese's team takeover defeating Clark's All-Iowa attack in the 2019 Nike EYBL Championship. But it was the 2023 NCAA Championship game that truly ignited the feud that would captivate and divide basketball fans across the country. In that legendary game, Reese's LSU Tigers demolished Clark's Iowa Hawkeyes 102-85. As the final seconds ticked down, Reese hit Clark with the "you can't see me" gesture, tapping her ring finger to symbolize the championship she was about to receive. That moment went viral instantly, with some calling it competitive fire and others labeling it as poor sportsmanship. Clark got her revenge in the 2024 Elite Eight, dropping 4 points to eliminate LSU from the tournament. But by then, the narrative was already set. Two supremely talented players, one black and one white, locked in a rivalry that transcended basketball and touched on issues of race, privilege, and representation in women's sports. When both players were drafted into the WNBA in 2024, Clark going first overall to Indiana and Reese 7th to Chicago, everyone knew their battles would continue at the professional level. Their rookie seasons didn't disappoint, with multiple heated encounters and controversial moments, but nothing compared to what would happen in 2025. After that explosive season opener, things took an unexpected turn. Clark suffered a left quadriceps strain that would sideline her for at least 2 weeks, meaning she'd miss the highly anticipated rematch in Chicago on June 7th. The impact was immediate and devastating for the league's momentum. Ticket prices for that Chicago game plummeted from an initial get-in price of $86 to just $25 once news of Clark's injury broke. To put that in perspective, tickets for Clark's expected return game on June 10th in Atlanta were selling for $173. The numbers don't lie about who's driving interest in the WNBA right now. But here's where the story gets even more controversial. In the aftermath of the flagrant foul incident, Angel Reese took to social media in ways that poured gasoline on an already raging fire. She reposted a TikTok video that mocked Clark as a white gal running away from the fade, using the incident to make it about race. This wasn't the first time racial dynamics had entered the conversation around their rivalry. A Rice University study analyzing over 700,000 tweets found that public reactions to similar gestures from Clark and Reese were not just different, but racialized, with Reese facing significantly more criticism for the same actions. The drama escalated when Angel Reese's mother, Angel Webb Reese, jumped into the fray. after both players had preseason homecoming games at their college and arenas, with Clark drawing nearly 15,000 fans compared to Reese's 6,000. Reese posted on X, "Oh, that certain fan base looking in the stands celebrating attendance, while others are looking up in the rafters celebrating championship banners. We ain't the same." She wasn't done there. When Clark fans responded, Reese doubled down, writing, "Different year, same haters," with kiss emojis. The message was clear. This wasn't just about basketball anymore. This was personal, and the families were now involved. The WNBA found itself in an impossible position. The league desperately needs the attention and viewership that the Clark-Reese rivalry brings. Their first 2025 matchup peaked at 3.1 million viewers on ESPN, making it the most-watched WNBA game in the network's history. But with that attention comes toxicity that threatens to overshadow the actual basketball. WNBA analyst Rachel Demita expressed her frustration with the coverage, saying she had to think about how she wanted to move forward with covering the league. The focus on drama, rather than the impressive basketball being played, was becoming overwhelming. But drama sells, and everyone knows it. Speaking of impressive basketball, let's not forget what actually happened in that game. Clark recorded a triple-double with 20 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists, adding 4 blocks for good measure. It was just the third triple-double of her young career. Reese countered with 12 points and 17 rebounds, but her team was thoroughly dominated, losing 93-58. The controversy has drawn reactions from across the sports world. NBA legend Isaiah Thomas, no stranger to heated rivalries himself, embraced the intensity, saying the controversy brings eyeballs, and that's exactly what the women's game needs. He compared it to his battles with Michael Jordan and the Boston Celtics, suggesting this kind of passion is what builds leagues. But others worry about the cost. When racial slurs were allegedly hurled at Reese and her teammates after the game, prompting yet another WNBA investigation, it became clear that some fans were taking things way too far. Clark condemned those actions, calling anyone who would act that way a troll rather than a true fan. The question everyone's asking is whether this rivalry is sustainable or if it's already starting to burn out. WNBA analyst Rachel Anna-Marie Demita shocked fans by suggesting the rivalry might already be dead heading into the 2025 season. She argued that the magic of their college battles might not translate to the professional level long-term, but the evidence suggests otherwise. Even with Clark injured, the storylines keep coming. Reese continues to post cryptic messages on social media. Her mother keeps taking shots at Iowa fans. And everyone's counting down to when these two will face off again. The irony is that both players have repeatedly denied there's any real animosity between them. Clark told Time magazine, "We're not best friends by any means, but we're very respectful of one another." Reese has said there's never been beef, and that it's really just the fans creating false narratives. But actions speak louder than words. The hard fouls, the heated exchanges, the social media posts, the family involvement, this has all the ingredients of a genuine rivalry, whether the players want to admit it or not. And maybe that's exactly what women's basketball needs right now. If you're enjoying this deep dive into the drama, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss our coverage of the biggest stories in sports. The financial impact of this rivalry can't be ignored. The WNBA has seen record attendance and viewership numbers since Clark and Reese entered the league. Sponsorship deals are pouring in. The players finally got charter flights. The league's popularity has exploded in ways that seemed impossible just 2 years ago. But there's a dark side to all this attention. The racial dynamics underlying the rivalry have exposed ugly truths about sports fandom in America. When Washington Mystics owner Sheila Johnson criticized Clark being named Time's Athlete of the Year, saying the award should have gone to the WNBA as a whole and crediting Reese equally for the league's rise, it sparked another round of bitter debates. Clark herself has acknowledged the racial component, saying, "As a white person, there is privilege. A lot of those players in the league that have been really good have been black players. This league has kind of been built on them." It was a mature response that showed awareness of the broader context surrounding her stardom. Meanwhile, Reese has had to deal with death threats and racist messages that go far beyond normal sports rivalry banter. She revealed on her podcast, Unapologetically Angel, that the abuse has been relentless since that 2023 championship game gesture. No rivalry, no matter how intense, justifies that level of hatred. The technical foul given to Aaliyah Boston during the altercation remains one of the most puzzling aspects of the incident. Despite multiple replays showing Boston simply trying to separate Clark and Reese, she was assessed a technical for a physical taunt. When asked about it after the game, Boston seemed genuinely confused, putting her hands on her face in disbelief. The WNBA's pool report did little to clarify the situation. Officials stuck to their story about Boston's physical taunt, but provided no specific details about what she allegedly did. This lack of transparency only fueled more conspiracy theories about the league trying to manage the rivalry's optics. As we look ahead to the rest of the 2025 season, several questions loom large. Will Clark recover from her injury in time for their next scheduled matchup? Can the WNBA find a way to harness the energy of this rivalry without letting it spiral into something toxic? And perhaps most importantly, can these two transcendent talents coexist in a league that desperately needs both of them to thrive? The upcoming games between the Fever and Sky will be must-watch television regardless of who's playing. But let's be honest, it's not the same without both Clark and Reese on the court. The June 7th game might still draw decent ratings, but those $25 tickets tell the real story about what fans want to see. What makes this rivalry so compelling is that it's about more than just basketball. It's about representation, race, class, and the growing pains of a league trying to break into the mainstream. Every hard foul, every social media post, every comment from family members adds another layer to a story that's captivating sports fans who never watched women's basketball before. The business side of the WNBA is watching closely. Commissioner Kathy Engelbert has to balance promoting the rivalry that's bringing unprecedented attention to the league while also protecting player safety and maintaining a positive image. It's a tightrope walk that gets more difficult with each controversial incident. Former players have weighed in with varying perspectives. Some embrace the intensity, remembering their own heated rivalries that helped build women's basketball. Others worry that focusing too much on conflict overshadows the incredible skill and athleticism these players display every night. The truth is, both things can be true. The rivalry between Clark and Reese has undeniably elevated women's basketball to new heights, but it's also brought challenges the league wasn't fully prepared to handle. The key is finding a way to channel that competitive fire without letting it burn everything down. As this 2025 season continues to unfold, one thing is certain: all eyes will be on Clark and Reese whenever they share the court. Their rivalry has become bigger than basketball, touching on issues that resonate far beyond the arena. Whether that's ultimately good or bad for the WNBA remains to be seen. What we do know is that women's basketball has never been more popular, more controversial, or more compelling to watch. And at the center of it all are two young women who just wanted to play basketball but found themselves symbols in a much larger cultural conversation. The next chapter of this rivalry will be written when Clark returns from injury. Will the time apart cool tensions, or will the anticipation make their next meeting even more explosive? Only time will tell, but one thing's for sure, we'll all be watching. What do you think about this rivalry? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more incredible basketball content. Until next time, this is your source for the real stories behind the game.